The Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you as always by my sticker site. Look, guys, if you want the gift for yourself or another Diamond Club fan, you got to go to Stickers or DIAF. You want to know why? Because we got the best stuff, man. We got the stuff that you need. We got the stuff that you want. We got these brand new pins, right? And I only got, I think, 30 more of these. They are flying off the goddamn shelves. $24.99. You get 3 soft enamel 1-inch pins. Please don't die. The slogan that we have for the end of every one of these podcasts: a Mega Man X inspired diamond and a Captain Morgan. A Captain Henry James Morgan. Mahoy, right there. They're pins. You're gonna love them. Or get them for somebody that you know and love. Tell you what, surprise the Discord pal in a way that they'll never forget by checking out Stickers or DIAF. Listen, you're like, hey, look, it's not called pins or DIAF. What about the stickers? Well, I'm glad you asked. Our Mega Pack, $19.99 as it always is. It now includes every sticker that we still have in stock, even the ones that have rotated out. That means art that you cannot get and won't be able to get after Christmas from Spearmint Nitrate, from Carter Johnson. Our Meme Squad pack art is back. The vintage JuRY Dare logo, the original Politics logo sticker, that is available as well. Go ahead and check it out. And, you know what? How about the new stuff? You're like, I already have all those stickers. I've been buying stickers from you forever. How about this one? New art from my brother. The new JuRY sticker and a new PX3 sticker. It's right there. It's in the pack. Also, the Vintage Ruin wine label. Also, the JuRY will buy you a drink token. Folks, you can't go wrong. Stickers or DIAF. But enough talking about how we support the show. Oh, friends, what do you say we just do the damn thing?
Said, I know it's ugly, and I said, girl, ugly ain't the half, look at you. Well, you got blue teeth, and you only got 2 teeth, but I kinda like to see you smile. And it appears that over the years you've turned into a big old steaming pile. And she said, yeah, I know I ain't no supermodel. I said, you ain't a hand model, baby. That's fine, 'cause you're pretty ugly by most people's standards, but you're alright by mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, as if we never left, welcome back to the Justin Robert Young program. My name is Justin Robert Young. Man, we got some stuff to talk about, you guys. We got some real business to talk about. Holidays are on. I mean, listen, I'm doing 2-minute ad reads for these stickers, right? For these pins. I love it. I love the holiday season. I mean, I don't love hawking my cheap wares so much, but you know, I like the festive season. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm weird. But, you know, also the other thing is that the winter for me, growing up in Florida and now living in Northern California, the weather gets in any way cold this time of year. It's been well documented. I'm not a big fan of, what is it? Snow. Yeah. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I don't. I always get into this thing, and this is always about the time of year when it happens, right? You know, get into these conversations. I know a lot of you are out there in the hinterlands, You know, a lot of you were out there in Winterfell. A lot of you are out there talking about, oh, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Oh, you want to know what? I think the snow's good. I'm sorry. I actually like seasons. Man, fuck a season. Here's the only seasons I like of Battlestar Galactica. And even then, I could probably take or leave one or two of them. Those are the seasons I want. I need an even temperature, right? Except for now. Now you want to have just a little chill in the air. You want to have sweater weather, right? You want to have something where you're putting your arm around your loved one and you're getting a little bundled up for warmth. Maybe a little blanket, right? You put it over your legs like Professor X. Anyway, one of those. I like Christmas music. We're going to talk a little bit about annoying Christmas music on the show here during the mail segment. But, yeah, in general, all right, real show of hands here. Email me, JustinRobertYoung at gmail.com, JustinRobertYoung at gmail.com. Or answer me in the Twitch chat right now. Do you think people are nicer or meaner during the holidays? Are they, in general, by and large, nicer or meaner during the holidays? This is what I want to know. I mean, because in my mind, and I think maybe I'm just projecting, because I feel like I want to be nicer. I feel like people are nicer. But then again, there's a lot of stress in the holidays. Here's another thing that happens where there's actual weather. Seasonal depression. Something I never knew about, man. I never knew about seasonal depression until I went up to Syracuse for school. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, you got these glum-ass people. Eeyore motherfuckers trouncing around, wondering what's going on, right? Then you start talking to people, and they're like, oh, don't worry. It's seasonal depression. And I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? What do you mean it's seasonal depression? I mean, is it just that there's like it's a lot of stress, right? You know, maybe you're around your family a lot more. If you don't have a great relationship with your family, maybe that really kind of sets you off a little bit. And they're like, no. Well, yes, that too. But also it's just the sun goes away. And at that point you realize that like we really are just like plants, right? We really are just like reacting to how much sun we get when everybody else is just, trudging around. Sidon here in the chat. Seasonal depression is rooted in lower levels of vitamin D brought on by the shorter days in the winter season. It's a sun thing, literally. Maybe that's why everything's kind of happening right now. We got a bunch of stories here we want to talk about. We're going to talk about woman spreading. We're going to talk about Viagra fumes in Ireland. We're going to talk about how to survive a no-booze holiday party. And also one of my favorite sex scandals of all time gets another chapter. But first, let's go ahead and talk. There's somebody sent this in here for me. This is another trend story. Woman spreading is officially a thing, and it's all over your Instagram. Writes Mary Claire, written by Millie Hurst. So Millie Hurst writes, we all know about man-spreading, the modern phenomenon that sees men spreading their legs a bit too far, taking up too much room and showing us too much crotch. Everyone's witnessed it, and women have experienced its effects at least once. Whether it's an awkward knee contact with a random guy on a bus or getting our personal space invaded by a man-spreader commuter in a busy central line carriage. I guess this shit was written in the UK. Whether it's a display of dominance or just a comfy position, the man-spreading habit has gone viral, with signs in New York subways asking men to stop the spread and the term making its way into the Oxford New Dictionary. So let me just say this about man spreading. I think that there is an element of it that guy needs to have his legs apart a little bit. We got cargo here. I mean, like, you don't want to pinch the jewels. It's very uncomfortable. Let alone that's dangerous, man. If you have your balls kind of very tightly hewn between two thighs, next thing you know, all you need is for someone to just kind of slap you on the knee or give you a good spook, right? Tell you a real scary story. And next thing you know, you've crushed your nuts. It's not a good time. But there are guys who fucking take it too far, man. I'm not gonna lie. And by the way, men have known this for years, right? We just have not spoken up about it. Everybody knows that one guy who's just got that spread eagle stance. But at the same time, in general, guys, I've always been a fan of the triangle. I'm going to try and show this live, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. But, like, one knee up. I'm talking about heel on, like, the opposite knee, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like that's the way to go. But the only problem with that, right? The only problem with that is that now you've put your dirty ass shoe up next to everybody's knee. Ankle over knee is the way to go. But now a lot of people don't think. I mean, let's say you got some nice slacks on. I'm sitting next to you on the BART or the Metro or whatever, and next, I got my shoe there. I'm trying to read my iPhone. Next thing I know, I look over, and there's a white scrape of whatever the fuck was on my shoe on your nice slacks. I don't want that. You gotta live it in moderation. Well, I'll tell you what, these ladies took some matters into their own hands, because now there's a new trend on Instagram, and it's hashtag woman spreading. High profile names from Bella Hadid to Emily Ratajkowski to Chrissy Teigen and Elsa Hosk have gotten on board with the movement. I do not know who any of these women are. This is a sign that I am closer to death. If I do not know who any of these women are, that means I'm gonna die soon. It's my barbershop. My barbershop 110. I am kind of lying. I know Emily Ratajkowski is the lady from the Blurred Lines video. I know that Chrissy Teigen is she's John Legend's wife, right? But of course, as on her own right, she's the co-host of the lip sync video. And Bella Hadid, I don't know who Bella Hadid is. Apparently, it's this lady right here that we're looking at on the video. Of course, you can watch us live here, twitch.tv/JustinRYoung, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But I have no idea who Elsa Hosk is. Apparently, one of them removed their image from Instagram. I mean, I guess... all right, let's read here. You wouldn't be blamed for thinking this is the latest pointless trend with about as much stinking power of thong jeans and feather eyebrows. However, in the post-Weinstein Me Too era, it could be seen as a powerful physical demonstration of women's frustrations with the status quo. We're tired of sexual harassment and feeling pushed into a corner, and we're continuing to own our own space nevertheless. It's like a slightly more accessible free the nipple, if you will, and we're all for it. Clearly, the majority of us won't be going whole hog and posting a photo of ourselves, hashtag woman spreading on Instagram. But let's take this opportunity to uncross our legs and sit however we feel comfortable, ignoring all echoes and teachers and relatives telling us to sit like a lady. All right, man, I got to hear from the women now. All the ladies, all the JuRY ladies. I need to hear from you, JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Where you at on woman spreading? And like, is this a powerful reflection of the post-Weinstein era? Because here's the thing. Here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to make a call on it. It's not my business, right? I'm with ladies. I think the fucking there's a little bit too much. I mean, I granted, I know that sometimes a ball gets pinched here and again, and you need to give yourself a little bit of room. But I think that there's a lot of people sitting there on public transportation that are dropping down and get their eagle on, trying to put a full yard between left knee and right knee. I guess maybe I would feel more. I would feel like it would be a more powerful thing if like women took pictures of themselves sitting legs akimbo like on a train or something, right? That'd be a fairly innocuous kind of thing to do. Just two pictures of knees being like, check that shit. However I feel comfortable is how I'm going to feel. Boom. Yeah. I don't know how much you need to take. I mean, like a lot of these women are models, right? They're just taking awesome, beautiful shots of themselves and posting them on Instagram because that's partly what their job is, right? That's what you, that's how they make money. Inspiring boners. We're the boner factory. The more boners there are, business is going up. And so are the boners. Speaking of boners, there's a lot of boners out there in Ireland, man. Ireland's got. You guys hear about this boner thing in Ireland? Dig this. Irish villagers complain that a Viagra plant's fumes have men and dogs walking around with hard-ons. This one's great. Residents of a tiny Irish village where Viagra is manufactured have complained that fumes from a nearby factory have been giving them a hard time. Hard times, daddy. Where is this? When you're living in Rings the Kitty, Cork, breathing in the air and getting a boner, that's hard times, daddy. You're walking down the street and the dog's got a red ragged. They kick you in the butt and say, look at that dog's boner. You know that's hard times. Viagra put hard times on Rings the Kitty Cork. Pharmaceutical firm Pfizer has produced an erectile dysfunction drug in Rings the Kitty Cork for the last 2 decades. Problem is that villagers claim that Rings the Kitty's proximity to the plant and its love fumes have been giving local men and even their canine friends enormous sexual powers. Holy shit, that's a phrase right there. Enormous, Rings the Kitty County Clerk. Enormous sexual powers is a great phrase. Holy shit. Where do you even come up with that phrase? I mean, and also, I mean, like they're just getting boners, right? They're not getting enormous sexual powers. It's not like they're able to spin their cum into gold, you know? It's not like they're able to juggle their balls. Like, those aren't enormous sexual powers. It's not like their dick all of a sudden becomes a tuning fork. Like, that would be an enormous sexual power. This is just a boner. In fact, it's the most unremarkable of sexual powers. It's literally the baseline for sexual powers. Barmaid Debbie O'Grady. Oh, Jesus. That's the next line in this article. Barmaid. We go from, holy shit, the Irish Post, man, who wrote this. Big shout out to Aidan Lonergan. Aidan Lonergan. we go right from enormous sexual powers, and the next three words are barmaid Debbie O'Grady. By the way, they just had this thing on SNL. Did you guys hear about this SNL thing? So SNL did a sketch with a Sanarice Ronan, I believe her name is. She was she's in the new Lady Bird movie that's apparently very very well received. But they did a sketch on Saturday Night Live where it was about Aer Lingus. And it was, as I think one Irish media outlet called, patty whackery to the highest form, meaning it was just a bunch of Irish stereotypes. But if we're going to talk about Irish stereotypes, barmaid Debbie O'Grady might be, like if I wrote, barmaid Debbie O'Grady, I'd be like, oh, come on, dude. Not everybody is a barmaid with a stereotypically Irish last name. But here we go. She's going to tell something to the Sunday Times. One whiff and you're stiff. We've been getting love fumes for years now, for free. Miss O'Grady's mother, Sadie, stop it. This has got to be a fake fucking article. This has got to be a fake article. This is a goddamn limerick. Miss O'Grady's artery. We're going to read it back. Barmaid Debbie O'Grady told the Sunday Times, one whiff and you're stiff. We've been getting the love fumes for years now, for free. Miss O'Grady's mother, Sadie, oh my God, said that living in a Ring's-a-Kitty is a blessing for men who suffer from problems in that department, adding that there's something in the air. The widower added, wait, hold on. Wouldn't it be a widow? Yeah. Miss O'Grady's mother, Sadie, she used to be the homeboy's lady. Oh, that bitch? Said 80 degrees when I tell that bitch, please raise off these NUTs because you gets none of these at ease. As I mob with the dog pound, feel the breeze. Biatch, I'm just rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Now back to the Irish Times. The widower added, I'm a flirtatious woman. A lot of us are. You just have a spark, that's all. There's a lovely man waiting down the road from... This is just this lady talking about how she's going to fuck. Damn. She literally used to be the homeboy's lady. She's a flirtatious woman. Pfizer said in a statement that the stiff whiff was nothing more than an amusing myth. Is this guy really trying to fucking, is he having a laugh? Is he having a laugh? Look at this statement, this fucking sentence. Pfizer said in a statement that the stiff whiff is nothing more than an amusing myth, but there were no hard feelings. Our manufacturing processes have always been highly sophisticated as well as highly regulated. Nevertheless, residents remain scared stiff that there's how many fucking boner. I mean, like, he just keeps going back to stiff. Nevertheless, I mean, come on. Who is it? I was praising him. I'm gonna have to give him a little settle down, Aiden. Aiden, the author here. So many other words. Tumescent, turgid, rigid. You don't have to say stiff all the time. Nevertheless, residents remain scared stiff that something more sinister is going on. Psychiatric nurse Fiona Toomey. Now there we go. No one's like, oh, here's an old Irish stereotype, the psychiatric nurse, who recently returned to the village after 5 years in America, said that local dogs walk around in a state of sexual excitement. I think that Viagra must have gone into the water supply, she said. I'm convinced that's what happened at the very beginning, before they were so closely regulated. Mm-hmm. The true Schmitty in the chat room says the author is just really pounding it home here. I need to know if this is true. This can't be true, right? Like, is that if people were actually getting, dosed, Viagra dosed, this would be a lot larger of a story. I guess it would get larger from where it was before. Mm-hmm. 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 I mean, maybe this story is a grower, not a shower. Oh, I'll tell you what, maybe it's not just the Irish eyes that are smiling. That one was a reach. I don't even know what it means. There's no way that's true. Can't be. Impossible. I rule it. I rule it. No. That's not soft, flaccid. I find that rumor. I just think people like to say, like, tell you what, I whiffed that Viagra. You want to fuck me? You want to fuck Sadie O'Grady? Maybe it's just people just want to fuck Sadie O'Grady. Send me an email. Do you want to fuck Sadie O'Grady? Hit me up on Twitter, Justin R. Young on Twitter. Let me know if you want to fuck. Just say yes. Just say yes to Sadie. We need to find Sadie. I bet you she's just a real incorrigible minx. All right. This one's a little bit more seriously. A little bit more serious. In light of the Weinstein, Me Too, or what the New York Post calls the pervnado, there are effects here for the rest of us. This is a report here from again the New York Post. Pervnado has offices cutting back on booze at holiday parties. Here's the story. Here's one more reason to hate Harvey Weinstein. He might be this year's biggest buzzkill. Company holiday parties will be serving far less alcohol this year over concern that a boozy bonanza could lead to unwanted sexual advances. The number of companies serving alcohol this holiday at holiday feats this year is expected to drop 49.7% from 62%, and 11% are ditching the party altogether, according to a survey from employment consulting firm Challenger Gray and Christmas. Quote, "We expected this to be a blowout year for holiday parties, but this came as a real surprise to us," VP Andrew Challenger told the Post. "Sexual harassment is on the top of everybody's minds, particularly the HR department, since they're responsible for creating a safe environment. Corporations across all industries are clamping down on holiday shindigs to prevent potential bad behavior and the lawsuits that will inevitably follow." Vox Media, whose editorial director Lockhart Steele was fired in October after a former employee accused him of sexual harassment, will limit employees' booze consumption to 2 drinks at their holiday party at Brooklyn's Freehold Bar, according to a memo obtained by the Huffington Post. In the world of finance, an employee at a New York City-based hedge fund charged with planning this year's holiday party said she's encouraging a +1 policies, so the soiree remains a family affair. Quote, "At my last company, they didn't let people invite guests, and the amount of in-office hookups that night was crazy, whether married, single, or whatever," said the worker, who requested anonymity for herself and her company. Even if booze is served, one Wall Street exec expects parties to be more self-regulated. "Most women in business know how to enjoy themselves and have a good time without needing to be told how to behave," says Rita Robbins. "I expect that many will have a wonderful party season, knowing that unwanted advances will not be served up this year." All right, this one's from Viacom. Entertainment company Viacom, which fired Nickelodeon creative Chris Savino for alleged sexual harassment in October, is going ahead with its party on December 14th, but further details have not been released. One worker at the company who expects to enjoy a drink at the bash said alcohol isn't the problem. "I like to think Viacom understands that booze isn't the reason these things happen." All right. Now I know what the easy stance here is. And if y'all know me, then you know that I enjoy a drink or seven. And the easy stance here is for me to come out and say, God damn it, yet another thing that these stupid assholes have ruined. There is a pervasive culture of sexual harassment in this society, and they have finally taken yet another trophy for themselves. I've said before all this Harvey Weinstein shit, if you have ever been a man who's had a hard time talking to a woman because you find that the social wall between you and talking to a woman that you have just met in a public situation is too thick, it is because there are some creepers out here doing some creepy ass shit. Now, I very much do believe that this is yet another way that these creepers' toll has taken out, another toll that they have taken out of our lives. I hopefully believe that this kind of conversation and the action that will come from it will prevent it, because guess what? I love a holiday party. Love a holiday party. God damn. Love getting drunk. Everybody cuts loose. Maybe the one person who leaves right at 5, all of a sudden they're out there cutting a rug, having a few. You know, next thing you know, they're the most gregarious person in the room. You're like, holy shit, when did you grow a personality? Everybody gets a little closer. And it's a better situation for everyone. But dear listeners to the JuRY podcast, I would be remiss if this was the only thought I had. No. I had a moment of self-reflection. Because it was my diehard opinion. When I was in college, and I was running the school newspaper, oldest school newspaper, independent school newspaper in the country, over 100 years old, an institution, God damn it. Seen papers from the Daily Orange that were covering the motherfucking Titanic. Yes, the Titanic. And I was always a big fan of shit being a little loose. When I was running the place, I was very much a fan of creating an environment where office hookups were prevalent. Now, my reasoning for this was that at the time, and I think still now, you know, it was an independent college newspaper. And granted, it made a profit, but it was a not-for-profit company, so you had to invest everything back, and you never really made a whole lot. So you would basically not be able to pay your talent all that much. You really had to pay your talent in prestige and hopefully lifestyle. So if that was the case, then some creature comforts for those of kids who wanted to come in and work for the paper or be involved with the paper were, you know, hey, maybe underage, a drink finds its way into your hand. You know, you don't got to talk to the creepy kid on your floor. Safe space to do it. Hey, you want to know what? Maybe you start flirting with somebody else there. Oh, you know, wouldn't be the end of the world. Maybe you meet somebody, right? Even better if you meet somebody and they work there too, because now both of you are putting in the time. I thought it was a tremendous recruitment tool, but there were other people that came in after me that felt that I was too permissive of this, let alone too promotional of these kind of things. Paper needed to be more professional. Paper needed to be more of a stepping stone to careers. I always found this to be ridiculous. I thought it was school marmish. But when I was reading this article, it kind of got me thinking. Was I aiding and abetting an environment where women were harassed? When I came out in full-throated defense of an environment that involved more booze chugging, and more flirtation, I would think consensual, of course. But was I creating an environment and were my defenses being heard to other people as me believing that this was the kind of environment that I wanted? Was I an active, systemic part of the problem? And I guess the answer is I might never know. I mean, certainly there is the case that there's plenty of offices now, specifically out here in Silicon Valley, where perks are a big thing. And many of the perks involve alcohol and parties and renting things out, people being able to choose their own hours, a lot of permissive environments. People are cutting back on that a little bit now because they feel like, maybe this isn't the environment that we want to have. While well-intentioned, if not celebratory of personal freedom, maybe these environments have a dark side effect. So maybe this is just one of those things where it's better if the after party is the real party. It's better if everybody has a built-in situation where the official party's kind of fucking lame. But you want to know what? We're all going out to this other place. And even then, at least somebody has a choice to say, oh, I want to be in this booze-filled bacchanal, as opposed to it being the company-sanctioned thing to do. I don't know. I mean, because nobody wants to think of themselves as the person who was part of the problem, right? Everybody wants to believe that they were pure at heart. I know I certainly wanted to be. Maybe I should talk to some of my old colleagues, the ones that were into cleaning up, the Law and Order candidates. Maybe I should see if that ever came across their mind. Some people are saying, holy shit, this crazy office party trend has passed me by. JC Calhoun says I'm working at the wrong places because I ain't never been to a crazy office party. Yeah, by the way, pro tip from me to you, it was fine to hook up with your coworkers when everybody was 18 to 22. Hooking up with your coworkers now, stay away. Stay away. Try your best to stay away. Do it your damnedest to stay the hell away from hooking up with somebody at your office party this year. It's just a bad idea, You never want to do it. It's just a real big gamble. It's just, man, big problems. Also, now, of course, I need to ask for office hookup stories. Send me your emails, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put JuRY in the subject line. Give me your crazy office hookup stories. First year I was at the Go game, I passed out. I got drunk and I passed out. Got shit written on my face. It was a fun time. Drank too much. I was very lonely. I was still fitting in. Ashley had yet to move out. But I drank too much. Still a pretty good party. Still a great night. All right. Holy crap. This show's fucking flying by. All right. How many of y'all know who Elliot Spitzer is? How many people know who Elliot Spitzer is? Because this is pretty good. This is pretty sweet. This story here. And well, not pretty sweet. It's mean. It's mean. So Elliot Spitzer used to be the governor of New York. Went from a fairly famous attorney, state's attorney, became the governor, and then wound up having to resign in disgrace after it was revealed that he had hella hookers. All right, replace party people in Whoop There It Is for hella hookers. And just imagine, hella hookers! Yeah! Dude was a baller. Man, he was spending a lot of money on these hookers. Loved them. Well, now he's back in the news, and guess what it's for? Cue Norm Macdonald voice. You guessed it. Hookers. Disgraced ex-governor Elliot Spitzer grimly refused Thursday evening to discuss allegations as he engages in sexual fetishes, including him hiring young girls to lead him around on a leash like a dog. The infamous Love Gov, who quit his job as the state's chief executive amid a hooker scandal in 2008, frowned and set his jaw when he encountered a post reporter outside his swank Upper East Side apartment building around 6:15 p.m. All right, let me bring you behind the curtain on this. This is written by two people, Kevin Fassick and Bruce Golding, and I can almost guarantee you that one of them is the videographer here and the other is the guy who wrote it up. So one guy's job is literally just to be in front of buildings where famous people are and ask famous people about stuff. So this story, from a journalistic point of view, is literally one sentence that they're going to expand into many, many, many more sentences. Here we go. Spitzer, 58, was stone-faced as he ignored questions about his alleged leash kink while striding through an auto-opening front door on 800 Fifth Avenue. This entire sentence is, I need to make this longer. There is literally nothing here of any value. He is just writing this, so this will be a longer article. Spitzer, his age, totally irrelevant, was stone-faced. Yeah, of course. He ignored questions, right? The auto-opening front doors of his apartment. Okay, again, number one, we probably didn't need to give out his address. Oh, nor do we need to know that his doors were auto-opening or he opened the doors by himself. Schlung says, are journalists paid by the word? No, but oftentimes you have to hit certain news holes. So for newspapers, you're given X amount of inches that you need to hit. So you just expand, right? And you do shit like that. You like describe what his face looked like and say what his doors moved like. Here's some more shit that didn't need to be in this article because we're going to get to what literally could have been the one sentence. All of this is useless, right? I'm going to read. Everything I'm reading is useless for this article. Spitzer, whose long-suffering wife, Silda Wall Spitzer, finally dumped him in 2013. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was fucking 5 years ago. Recently put a 3-bedroom, 22nd floor apartment he owns up for rent. It's on the market for $19,500 a month, but he's living in another, even plusher pad in the building, across the street from Central Park, a source there said. On Wednesday night, the Post exclusively revealed... Okay, so here we go. Everything else, useless. Here we get into what is the actual story here. On Wednesday night, the Post exclusively revealed that the former escort Svetlana Travis Zarakova, 27, filed papers in Manhattan Supreme Court to lift a gag order imposed during the prosecution on charges that included extorting $400,000 from Spitzer. This girl tried to gank $400,000 from Elliot Spitzer. The Russian native claims she has a First Amendment right to discuss any and all actions or events she participated in with Spitzer. All right. Last week we talked about the Washington Post. We talked about purpose in writing, right? We talked about how you can say more in how you say things than in actually what you say when it comes to journalism. This is a private citizen trying to get out exactly what she wants to say. So to keep you, catch you back up, this woman is getting sued by Elliot Spitzer because apparently she tried to extort goddamn near $500,000 from him, right? And there is a gag order on both of them from talking. So this is what she says. I have a right to speak. I have a right to discuss any and all actions or events that she participated in with Spitzer. Moreover, and this, as soon as you hear moreover, you should hear because this is really what she wants to say. She wants to get this in the New York Post, and I'll almost guarantee you that her lawyer probably called the goddamn called the reporter themselves or sent a press release. Moreover, the fact that Spitzer was paying young girls to insert sex toys into his anal cavity and walk him around the floor on all fours with a leash is conduct that he made a conscious choice to engage in, wrote this woman's lawyer, Joseph Murray. Zarakova was sentenced in October to serve time after plea bargaining to an attempted petty larceny for trying to steal rent money from another older ex-lover, a toy store owner, Paul Nips. Oh, jeez. Spitzer's spokesman has called Zarakova's allegations against him reprehensible lies from an extortionist. The record in this case and her guilty pleas speak for themselves. Now, I'm actually kind of prone to believe Spitzer here. Be honest with you. I'm kind of prone to believe him. Because, like, anybody can hang anything on this dude now. He got busted for hookers. So literally any hooker can say, yo, we got into some shit. Also, if you're like a lifelong hooker aficionado, if you're on the December issue of Hooker Aficionado magazine, you got to probably be into some weird shit, right? Because I ain't never purchased a hooker myself, but I would imagine that if the bargain is what we all imagine it to be, meaning that you get a chance to do whatever you want, that you're paying for the privilege to do so, then you're probably going to run out of your wish list, right? You know, a lot of people probably listening have a sexual fantasy wish list that's going to be hard to carve through because to do it means to admit it to their loved one, you know, or their wife, their husband. If you're with hookers all the time, if you got one of those hooker frequent buyer cards, you know, like a Subway club card, like you got to figure at a certain point. I mean, that dude got popped in 2008. It's goddamn near 10 years later, right? If maybe he was just into some mildly kinky shit, 10 years on, he's probably into some leash pay. Some leash play with anal insertion. Whereas Who said it here? Daniel J. Newman in the Twitch chat said, up his butt like a barking mutt. But at the same time, if anyone's going to be susceptible to anybody saying anything, because everyone's going to believe the hooker at this point. That dude got popped with multiple hookers. Daniel J. Newman goes on to say, get all the holes on the punch card and you get one free. I would like to think that once you get all the holes on the punch card, you get all the holes. Let's get into your emails. You can send me emails, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put JuRY in the subject line. We promised you guys that we would talk about the most annoying Christmas songs. Here's an article from the metro.co.uk. They rank the most annoying Christmas carols. Number 20, John Denver and the Muppets. We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Craig Phillips, At This Time of Year. Jackson 5, Carol of the Little Drummer Boy. Wow, John Denver ringing up twice here. Please, Daddy, Don't Get Drunk This Christmas. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, The Power of Love. Boney M, Mary's Boy Child. I don't even know what the fuck that one is. Nat King Cole, The Little Boy That Forgot Santa Claus. Wham, Last Christmas. I'm actually with Wham. I think Last Christmas is actually a really good song. Mr. Blobby, Christmas in Blobbyland. I don't even know that. This is all British shit. Madonna, Santa Baby, Perry Cuomo. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Jingle Bells. Justin Bieber's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Cliff Richard, The Millennium Prayer. Tom Jones and Cheris Matthews, Baby It's Cold Outside. Mud, Lonely This Christmas. Band-Aids, Do They Know It Christmas. Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, and a new song, The Christmas Shoes. Wonderful Christmas Time is legitimately a garbage song, but I kind of have a soft spot for it. I'm sure we're going to wind up talking about Baby It's Cold Outside. We always do. J.C. Calhoun points out that Last Christmas is kind of like the Die Hard of Christmas songs, right? Like that might just be a song that takes place on Christmas. I think it probably is. All right. We asked you guys your worst, your most annoying Christmas songs. Here's what we got. Zach writes, as it pertains to annoying Christmas songs, let me begin with Paul McCartney's Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. Then all the super sexual, rapey songs such as Santa Baby and Baby It's Cold Outside, and so on. George Michael's Last Christmas used to be annoying, but with the passing of its status, it has changed out of respect. Yeah. I mean, Last Christmas is a great song. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from something, I'll save it for somebody special. That's great. Like, that rhymes really well. It tells a very evocative story. Tale of heartbreak. Once bitten and twice shy. I think it's good. To save me from tears, right? This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to somebody special. But Andrew hit it on the head. Andrew wrote in. He nailed it, man. He nailed it. This is my, you want to talk about racist Christmas songs? You want to talk about racist Christmas songs? How about this one? Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey. Yes, 1960s Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey. Why does it got to be Italian, right? A lot of people want to talk about racism. I want to talk about fucking this racism against Italians. I hate it. I hate Dominic, the Italian Christmas donkey. You want to know what? We're going to break down Dominic, the Italian Christmas donkey, next week. We're going to break it down right here on this show. We're going into our Christmas season. We're going to talk about breaking down these Christmas songs. You always love it when I break down songs. You want to know what? Fuck it. Gloves are off, Dominic. The Italian Christmas donkey is going to fucking get it. I'm going to whip that ass. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. I'm going to bring you a little bit of my childhood pain next week on the show. Do your homework. Dominic's going to get it right in the ass. I'm just going to do it like that Italian or that Irish writer. Just use the same phrase over and over and over and over and over again. I'll tell you what, guys, if you want to write in, go ahead and do it. JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Make sure you put JuRY there in the subject line. Listen to Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey. Write me in your holiday party hookup stories. I know we've already done people fucking at work. I want holiday stories. It doesn't even have to be hookups. We got too drunk, said some shit. I want to hear about it. JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Oh, that donkey's going to get punched. I'm going to get all up in that ass. Dominic, watch your shit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make sure that you can support this show, just go ahead and do it by hitting up the Patreon, patreon.com/Justin R. Sorry. Yep. Jesus. Patreon.com/JuRY. Again, that is patreon.com/JuRY. If you want to get the stickers or DIAF.com. Again, pin sets are running out, patches are running out, stickers. We got plenty of stickers, but you still better get them right now because all the old stickers in the mega pack go back in the vault after Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a Viagra smog boner, if you are woman spreading or you are Elliot Spitzer's jaded hooker, this is your old pal Justin Robert Young reminding you to please don't.
Do you like the way you're dressed up? Do you like how your hair gets cut? Do you like when your friends fuck up? Don't you think you have had enough? Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.